guys. So I've been off YouTube for a while, just been dealing with some mental health problems and health problems with that, physical. But today I decided I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I discovered I have a rare disease. Fun, right? So about a year ago, about a year ago, I worked at a store called Frenchies. For those of you who doesn't know what Frenchies is, it's a used clothing store. They got a bunch around here, Nova Scotia. They got a bunch, I think they got a few in New Brunswick. I'm not too sure where the other ones were. Anyway, it's called Guy's Frenchies. So anyway, it was August, last August. I had to go out in the shed to grab some bags or something. I can't really remember what it was. I think they were bags. So the shed is like it's like the back of a transport truck. It's not really a shed, but anyway. So I went out back to grab some bags. We use these big long, I don't know what the proper name of it is. I'll see if I can find a picture. So I went to go grab some, and there's shelves on the side of the wall. Like one side of the wall there's shelves, and on the other side there's a bunch of stuff. So this side of the wall there was a shelf, and there was like a piece of the shelf like laying kind of like leaned up against it. So I walked past it. Don't you suppose the thing leaning up against, actually it was like probably like that, don't you suppose it decided to flip over like this and land on my leg. And I could not, it was so heavy, I couldn't get it off my leg. Nobody was out there. I was in the shed with the door shut, like trying not to, cry. And it was really hard. I think I cried a little bit, but all I could say was like, I'm gonna bleep that out. It hurt so bad. I thought I broke my leg, like my ankle. It was kind of like close to my ankle, but on my shin. I'll show you pictures of it. I got a lot of pictures. Anyway, I thought for sure I broke it. I couldn't walk on it. It looked really deformed after I got the shelf off. So I hobbled my way. I could barely walk. Hobbled my way back into the store. Tears almost running down my face. Nobody seemed to really, care about what happened. I don't know. Nobody was really, I'm just like, ow, my leg hurts, and nobody really said anything. So I had to hobble my way down to the office and tell one of my coworkers. I just had to tell her like, hey, so this happened. So I wrote an incident report. She checked my whole leg out, and she's like, are you sure you don't want to go to outpatients, get it checked out? And I'm like, nah, I can walk on it. Because by then I could move it and walk on it. I'm like, I'm probably fine. It doesn't hurt. I don't think it's broken. So anyway, I just had a bandage on it, and of course I got put up front on the floor where I had to walk around on it. And it was kind of a struggle by then, so I was kind of walking with a limp, and I had to walk to the counter, kind of shuffle right there right quick. I really should have went to outpatients to get it checked out, because anyway. So after that day, it was a bruise, and I'm like, oh, it's just a bruise, it's gonna heal soon. But the weird thing that happened was, as the days went on, this was like April of this year, April or March or April, around there, the bruise still never disappeared. And what happened was, it's like it came to the surface of my skin, and it was all like bloody and gross and stuff. But anyway, that's what it looked like. And so I was just kind of, weirded out. I'm like, I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, it's just a scrape or it's cut, like it will heal. So a year started to come closer. I put like the dates and stuff next to all the pictures so you guys know kind of like the timeline. So it started being a problem when I couldn't walk on my foot. like I couldn't put pressure on my foot. And I'm like, something's really weird here. Maybe I should get checked out. I was worried about blood clots. It wasn't that. And I was just, nobody really knew what it was. I went to outpatients a dozen times. Some doctor ended up putting me on, what was it? Some kind of narcotic that you give to somebody who's been in a car accident with their leg chopped off, basically. And let me tell you, that made me so sick that I was projectile vomiting on my way to outpatients to tell them, like, I need help, like there's something wrong with these pills. And I told the nurse that. I'm back to outpatients probably the 20th time. And I told her, and she's like, why did the doctor give you these pills? Like, they are strong. And anyway, so they flushed that out my system. Still don't know what's wrong with my leg. So anyway, went to outpatients again because my leg was really swollen and hurting again. And the fella told me to just keep putting Vaseline on it and covering it up to keep it covered. Yeah, that made it completely worse. It was like blood. There were holes, literal holes in my leg you could see. And I was getting right freaked out because it just wasn't healing. And I'm like, I have some flesh-eating disease or something. I don't know. So he said, I'm gonna send you in to go see some kind of surgeon. I can't remember like the proper term, what he was, but he was like a special surgeon. Anyway, so he sent in the papers. So I thought, more months go by and I still don't hear a thing from nobody. Nova Scotia healthcare is the complete worst. For all you guys that don't know and don't live here, it sucks. Even the mental health care sucks. I'm sorry, but anyway. So I'm like, man, I haven't heard anything from these people. I gotta have to call them and see if they even sent my papers. What do you guess? They never even sent my papers through. I was so mad because this leg problem was just pushing on and on and on. And anyway, so they said, okay, we're gonna send them, da-da-da-da. So more months go by of me struggling in pain and limping on my leg. That, I don't know, that made no sense, but anyway. So I go to see this surgeon. The day finally comes. Woohoo! He takes a huge biopsy out of my leg. And I've never had a biopsy before, so I didn't know what to expect. So here I am, just laying on the table, and he freezes my leg. And I'm awake during this. I'm awake. And I was panicking. So while he was suturing up my leg, while that was going on, I got right hot, and like this heat rose from my belly all the way to my face. And I'm like, guys, I'm gonna pass out. There's something wrong with me. And they all whipped around, and I was as pale white as a piece of paper. And I started throwing up. I don't know what happened. I think it was just nerves mostly, but as the time's going on, I'm starting to kind of realize maybe I'm prone to having reactions to local anesthetics, because it happened again when I went to the dentist, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, so that's all taken care of. He sends the biopsy away. More months go by. As I say, more months go by, probably only like a month or so, I don't know. It just seemed like it was more months. In reality, this year has just flown by, but anyway. So more time goes by, and the doctor, he's like, well, I have a friend. He said, he's a dermatologist. Would you be okay with me sending this case to him? Maybe he can find out what's wrong. So I'm like, yeah, sure, because I really needed answers. Like, I was just getting fed up. I was crying and depressed because it's just horrible. Like, I wasn't healing. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared I was going to lose my leg. So he sends the case to a dermatologist, and then I don't know how long it took, but I got in to see the dermatologist, and I went in for my appointment, and he checked out my leg, and he didn't know it. He had two suspicions of what it could have been. I can't remember the proper name of one of them. It was like kind of like it had gangrene in it, gangrenism or something. And there was another one, it was polyarteritis nodosa. So he was choosing between those two. So we had to do another, actually I don't think we did another biopsy. We done blood work, because I guess there's blood work that can tell whether you have what disease. So later I went to get blood work, and then I went back to him for another appointment, and he said that it came back that I have a vein problem. So my veins in this biopsy that the doctor took, like the big huge biopsy, my veins were damaged. And anyway, he was more leaning towards one of the diseases more than the other. So then my blood work came back, and come to find out, I have a rare disease called polyarteritis nodosa. I'm not too sure what it is myself, but basically what happens is your veins, they can have like an embolism. I think that's the right word. Aneurysm. I think I said it wrong. I think it's aneurysm. I don't know. I'll post a picture of it right here. So your vein, like they grow like a little bump on it, and sometimes I guess they can burst, causing the vein to just go necrotic and be of no use anymore. That's kind of what I get with this. So this is what my leg looks like now. I have no feeling right here, not even here, and it kind of like around this whole area I can't feel anything. That's where I had the big chunk biopsy taken, and that's where I had another biopsy taken. It looks more rough right now than it actually is. I think it's because of the lighting, but yeah. So that's what it looks like. My veins all through here, like these little red squigglies and the brown and the blue, they're all damaged. They're going necrotic. I don't know. I have no veins there, I guess. That's what I get of the whole situation. It kind of has to do with arthritis too. I struggle with arthritis, definitely in my legs, like this bone here, and my ankle too. And he said arthritis and also IBS can be like contributors to it. Like it kind of all goes into one. Yeah, there's a lot of symptoms that go along with it, like arthritis, IBS. I really struggle with that. And I can't remember what else he told me, but a lot of the things I have, so it more confirms this disease. I'm still going to see the dermatologist every month. Right now I'm on some medication that lowers my blood, and I thought it was a medication that was making me really, really sleepy and crappy, and I gained quite a bit of weight being on this medication. So that's kind of why like my mental health has been crappy. Why I haven't been posting any videos. Anyway, this medication I'm on, I need blood work every 2 weeks for the rest of my life, basically. I'm on prednisone for quite some time, just to stop like the swelling and stuff. I get compression socks. He said they should help like when I'm at work with the pain and stuff, and I tried them the other night, and so far so good. Wasn't that bad actually. My leg didn't swell, wasn't much pain. Those, like in that video I showed, the blue color. Yeah. Last week I think it was, I went up there because I was like really feeling crappy. My leg was in so much pain. Went up there, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna give you a shot of a steroid. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm terrified of needles. Like, well, I used to be. I used to cry and scream and everything until I got in college, and then I kind of manned up after the second time I needed needles for what I studied. I needed to get vaccinated for certain things. Anyway, so I thought it was just gonna be this one needle, and I've been dealing with blood work, and I'm like, yeah, I got this, like, it's okay. Huh, was I wrong? Was I ever wrong? Here he comes with a needle, either 6 or 7, I don't know, I couldn't count, but there was a lot. All those blue marks in my leg, that's where he gave me shots of steroids. I say about 5-6 shots. By that moment, when he was jabbing them in my sore leg, mind you, I broke out in sweat and I almost started crying, and all I could do was like deep breath. Oh man, I wasn't gonna make it. Like, I was struggling. So after that happened, he put the gauze on my leg and he's just like, good girl. And I'm like thinking, no, like, that was horrible. But he's a really good doctor. But anyway, I was not expecting that. My leg was sore for a while, but it's either the prednisone or the steroids that's helping it feel better. I don't know, but it's been okay these past couple days. It's been all right, but then again, I haven't been on it as much. So anyway, back to this disease. It's incurable. You can't cure it. It's not normal for someone my age to have this certain thing. It's mostly in older women. I think women are more prone to get it. It's mostly in like women who are 70 to 80. So me, I'm not going to release my age on here, but I am a young adult, and someone like me should not have this, but I do. And it's a struggle. Like, I'm always going to have that bruise thing on my leg for the rest of my life. He said it will disappear to brown, but it can flare up again. Right now we're just trying to get it to go away a little bit. We're trying to find the right dose of medication. Yeah, it's a struggle, because I mean, it's just having this big bruise on my leg for the rest of my life. I don't dare to wear shorts much in the summertime. I didn't even go swimming, I don't think, this summer. I was just so self-conscious about it, and it really hurt too during that time. But right now, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I'm still gonna have this disease for the rest of my life, but I mean, we're getting close to like managing it right now. I want to thank those doctors. I don't know if I should release their names. Just, I don't know, confidentiality for them. I'm not sure. I don't know. They might not want me to. So anyway, I'm not going to release their names. But they know who they are, and I thank them like so much. And my family doctor, he is a good fella, but I did tell him about this problem when it was acting up, and he's like, nah, it's just a bruise, you're okay. And he just kind of shoved it off, and that was months before I went to go see the dermatologist. So a lot of the doctors, they kind of just shoved me off, like, oh, you're fine, and, you know, shove pills on me. That's what they do. And I really don't like that. It's like, oh, you got this, here's some pills. Oh, you got this, here's some pills. And then you gotta take pills for the problems them pills cause, and then you gotta take more, and by the time you're taking like a handful of pills a day. So I didn't like that with my family doctor. He kind of just shoved me off. And anyway, these doctors that I'm seeing, or this dermatologist, he is really good. Like, I know he understands and he listens, and he agrees with me that some doctors shouldn't be like that, like just shoving you off on medication. Anyway, he's just a really good doctor, and he helped me discover what was wrong with me. And the assistant there, she is such a sweetheart. Like, when I first walked in there, I was probably feeling so crappy. I can't really remember, it was a while ago. And she just lit, like, her face just lit right up, and she's like, I really feel like she cares. I feel like they all care, the doctors that are involved in this case. And I wouldn't be where I am right now today without them. I'd probably still be, my leg looking like crap, wondering what the heck I probably could have lost my leg if it wasn't for these doctors. I would have lost my leg, I can tell ya, because it wasn't looking too great there for a little while. So anyway, that's my story on this rare disease I have. And yes, it does get difficult. I know I mentioned that a lot of times, but there may be some times where I won't post as many videos as I normally do. Like, I was posting once a week. There may be times where I might just go MIA for a little bit, but right now I'm trying to think of some ideas on videos so I can post. And it's been kind of hard with like my mental health and my leg and blah blah blah, but I'm gonna try to get back on track, because this is something I really want to do. Like, even if nobody really watches my videos, I enjoy making these. Kind of like TikTok, like I don't get very many likes or views or whatever, but I still enjoy making them. I don't know why, maybe just for me to have personally to look at, I don't know. So I just want to thank all my viewers and subscribers too. I want to thank you guys for following me. My life might not be that exciting, especially right now, but I want to thank you guys all, and I'm gonna thank you guys probably in every video because I don't feel like I'm that interesting, but you guys think I'm interesting, I guess. So thanks. But I'm gonna continue this journey as this is something I really like doing, and yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I'll keep you guys updated on my Instagram about my leg, like if I find anything else about it. Right now, it's pretty much just the same thing. We discovered what it is, I'm getting treated for it, blah blah. But if anything weird comes up or anything like that, I will probably post a video about that. Thank you guys so much for viewing this video. I know it was long-winded, but now you guys know about this disease. You can search it up. So I guess that's all. Thank you guys for viewing, and have a good night or day, whatever it is where you are. Especially if you're in Nova Scotia right now. Right now we're supposed to be getting this big huge storm, winds and floods and waves and blah blah blah. It's not really seeming to do anything right now. It was raining really bad earlier, so I didn't think I'd have a video posted because of the power. Right now things are good, but anyway, if we get more of this storm, I hope you guys stay safe, fill up your bathtubs, keep your animals inside, be prepared for the power to go out. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but anyway, have a good night, y'all. Thanks.